Hello and welcome to ET Now Exclusive. My guest today is Mr. Krithivasan, MD and CEO of TCS, and Michael Leiters, who is the global CEO of Porsche. TCS acquired and entered into a strategic partnership with Porsche, and by acquiring the consulting arm of Porsche. And gentlemen are going to give me the details of it in a more detailed version of it. Krithi, to start off with, you have already an operations in Germany. What does this acquisition bring to you?
The deep capabilities MHP has in digital advisory and transformation, S/4HANA and operations in the automobile segment, and now on also the client base MHP has in Europe. And now you combine it with the AI capability, the scale, the depth that TCS brings. Now these two put together, we are envisaging what we call a AI Center of Excellence for mobility transformation. So we will be able to provide services across the entire value chain of AI mobility in terms of product, engineering, manufacturing, and of course customer experience. We'll be able to transform it not only for Porsche as the customer zero, we'll be able to approach and provide more services to other automobile companies and manufacturing companies in Europe. So the opportunity to do more, opportunity to transform AI mobility using AI are the motivations for us.
Michael, ever since you took over, you've been concentrating on focusing on core operations for Porsche, and this sale of the unit is part of that entire strategy that you have. How big is this unit from a revenue point of view? What kind of clients does this unit have?
So first of all, it's not only focusing on the core business. That's a very important part, but it's also that we believe that MHP with a new partner like TCS now has a much better potential for the future by using the depth and the breadth of TCS, and I think there will be a huge opportunity for MHP to grow, and for us as Porsche to get through TCS even better services and better performance by MHP. So I think that is also a very important part of that deal. We are talking about a revenue around 700 million euros per year. That is for around double-digit margin. That is for Porsche a good part of the business, but it's not as important. I was saying it's not core, it's important, but again, I think with a new partnership now with TCS, we can get much more out of MHP with this deal.
My understanding is that you have more clients at MHP and you're not the only client for them in that sense. So what percent of the 700 million euros is what Porsche accounts for?
I would say around 30%, something around that. Depends a little bit on the year. And but I think, as Krithi said, it's also very important to mention that MHP has many customers, mainly obviously in the automotive industry, but I think there's a lot of know-how and knowledge in MHP regarding our industry, and also therefore in the transformation of our industry, which is happening now.
Krithi, the partnership brings you a revenue potential of nearly 1.25 billion euros over the next 5 years. What is the kind of work that you're going to do for Porsche? If you can elaborate it from TCS point of view.
So, Sajid, again, I don't want you to focus on 1.25 billion. I would look at it more as a partnership commitment. But the potential is huge. Currently, MHP operates only in the IT/OT space for Porsche. For instance, TCS brings in capabilities in engineering. MHP doesn't do any engineering work. So now this opens up opportunities for us to put our engineering capabilities in front. MHP doesn't do much of offshoring work. So we'll be able to offshore the work and provide them the ability, one, being more competitive for them. The moment you are more competitive, it again expands the horizon for us in Porsche and increases the scope of what we can do. So I see it across all lines, like it could be in the IT space, it could be in the engineering space. I would also look at how we can bring in TCS capabilities in the area of GBS and supply chain transformation. So many other new areas also come into play.
You're getting 4,500 employees as well as part of this deal. And it's a consulting one. You'll be able to integrate that. How much time will it take for you to integrate with India?
We are not looking to do any hard integration. We want actually MHP to thrive. Our idea is to let MHP be a standalone entity and support it with scale from TCS, support it with offshore, support it with other capabilities that larger TCS has. So there will not be any, we are not planning to do any hard integration, merge it with TCS. Actually, we'll support them in grow on their own.
Operations in France, Germany, Netherlands.
So we will keep it as an independent entity and support it to grow.
Michael, give us a sense of some other clients that you briefly mentioned about automobile being the biggest clients for them, for MHP. But which are the other ones? Does the Volkswagen Group have exposure to MHP? Will that business also come as part of the deal to TCS?
No, so Volkswagen is also one customer. Please understand, I don't want to disclose any other customers. Obviously, Volkswagen I can mention, but this is not part of the deal. Okay, and the 1.25 billion you were mentioning is only the revenue part based on Porsche, nobody else. So the revenue potential for MHP in the future, I guess, is much higher than that, and it is already today if you talk about around 700 million a year.
How is the automobile industry doing at this point in time? Because last year has been a tough year for the entire European automobile, and it can be seen from the revenues as well. From 830 odd million euros, it has fallen to 742. Do you see a revival coming in for the automobile industry?
You're talking in general about
the European automobile OEMs, basically.
So I think obviously we are experiencing challenging times. It's driven by geopolitics. It's driven by more competition in the industry. And obviously we have also to do our homework. Specifically for Porsche, I'm very positive. Again, we have a lot to do. We just started our transformation. I see a good reaction in my organization to transform, to change, which is not always easy. But I think in the first year of 2026, we achieved already a lot. And again, this deal is part of this change, refocusing on core business. I think that is crucial for an automotive player in these challenging times, really to focus and develop excellency in the business.
ER&D is something which this strategic partnership will add to. How significant can it be for your European operations and the revenues from Europe?
So this is currently MHP has a revenue, as we discussed, about 740-750 million per year. So it is going to be, I'm guessing it's almost like a 10%, 8 to 10% revenue increase. And but our objective is not, we are not doing the deal only for buying revenue. We believe the synergy potential here is immense. So this will drive the larger European market growth very significantly.
And from the margins point of view, because the street would look at this deal from margins, and Michael briefly mentioned about double-digit margins, which is there. How easy will it be to integrate that margin with your 25% margins?
It will have some short-term impact, like we believe it will be about 50 to 60 bips impact in the short term. But then we have enough levers to exercise, and we are not changing our margin target. We will continue.
It's an aspiration target which you have.
It will not change, so we'll continue to have it. So we'll continue to drive towards the 26 to 28. And we have to look at, even if you take, he said about his double-digit margin, but they are achieving it without any offshoring. Now we can bring offshoring, so some of the delivery models that we use in TCS can be brought in MHP, so that it gives you better scale and better margin. So there are enough levers for us to improve.
And is this deal going to be EPS accretive for you in the first year of operation?
It will be EPS accretive.
Michael, give us a sense of the kind of transformation that you're trying to achieve at Porsche and how TCS is going to. He mentioned about the fact that, you also mentioned about the fact that supply chain and others, where they can bring in more efficiency for you. As a global CEO, you have been driving the entire transformation as well at Porsche. So where do you see Porsche from a transformation point of view?
We are in the beginning, but we made good progress. We will present on our Capital Markets Day on 7th of October our new strategy, and that will have 3 main pillars. One is a brand and the customer, and I think the Porsche brand is exceptionally strong. There will be the product, and that is maybe the first touch point also with the deal we have here, where we talk about product portfolio, technologies within the product, and then we have operational excellence. And I think that is a main point then when the deal with TCS can come in and MHP can come in, because operational excellence will have to work also a lot with AI and with optimization and optimization of processes and efficiency of the organization. And that is what we want to present on the 7th of October. And I'm very positive about the transformation in Porsche and the progress we have done.
And from a product point of view, are you moving towards electrification of vehicles, or are you going to have both ICE and electric vehicles there?
So we will have both, because we are following a world auto strategy, and we have to, let me say, respond to different market requirements. So if you look at the United States, which is our biggest market, there is absolutely no trend to electric mobility. So there we'll have to foster our strategy regarding ICE and hybrid cars. If you look in Europe, there's a good mix. And then there are other markets like China, where you can see a strong trend to increase again the electric mobility. So what will show our electromobility will be that we have the flexibility to answer the requirements of the customer. We are agnostic. We are not demagogic or religious about technologies. We are following what the customer is asking us for.
Krithi is going to set up Center for Excellence here in India. What would be the key aspect of that for you when you're working with Porsche? Because you always mention that when you're working with clients and it's a new logo for you, bringing cost efficiency and advantages is what TCS is looking for its clients. What kind of efficiency gains can be brought in through AI and other integration of technology?
So first thing, Sajid, I'm not saying the COE is India-based. COE will be a global base, because MHP, most of the associates will be Germany. So it will be a global COE. It will combine the strength of what TCS has and what MHP brings together. And the focus of the KPIs would be on what is the efficient. You see, we talked about the areas where it will be product, we talked about engineering. So in each of these places, what is the real difference we can make through AI would be the key KPI that we'll be using. So this will be global, this will be across all value streams.
You also have, you're getting 300 clients along with Porsche as part of this deal. What percentage of that would be a replication of your existing customer base? Will there be a consolidation of that in some way?
It's actually interesting, quite a complementary list of customers. So many customers will be new additions to overall TCS portfolio of customers. And then now, so in each of those places, we get to leverage TCS scale, leverage the breadth of services we have. So I see a significant headroom in the list of clients we get through this acquisition.
And you can use that to ramp up those clients as well.
Absolutely, that's the idea I'm saying, yeah.
My final question to you, Michael, this entire deal, when do you expect this to be closing? And when you look at this opportunity which comes in for you, what is the kind of gains that you're looking at from an AI, how AI is going to transform automotive industry? Because vehicles are not engines anymore, it's more of tech now. And Porsche is one of those big brands where tech plays a big role. So how are you looking at transformation from a technology point of view?
So we will declare that or disclose that also on the Capital Markets Day on 7th of October. So please understand, I don't want to disclose it now. But what I can tell you is that we in Porsche, we are looking very specifically, project per project, how we want to use AI. We don't believe in a general, let me say, title in AI will save us or will gain us 10% or whatever. We are doing that really specifically, going line by line on our books to understand where we can support, save money, be more efficient through AI. And yeah.
Krithi, this 1.25 billion, will it be equally distributed, or will it be front-ended or back-ended in some way?
We have agreed on what would be an indicative commitment over the years. Okay, but while it's not equally split, but it's not varying wildly over the years as well.
Krithi and Michael, thank you very much for joining us on ET Now.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We now have DIPAM Secretary Mr. Arunish Chawla now joining us on the phone line. Mr. Chawla, Shesha here, and first let's quickly start with the latest Hindustan Copper OFS that DIPAM announced last evening. Now the government has divested stake in about 9 PSUs this year so far and raised about 55,000 odd crores. Anything more that's in the pipeline for this year to achieve that 80,000 crore target?
The figures that you've given are absolutely correct. We have Hindustan Copper's offer on sale today on the markets today and tomorrow. As far as going forward, the future is concerned, it would not be appropriate for me to give any transaction details which are premature, but you will see regular market activity from us. And so stay tuned in. The investors should look forward to more investments. It would not be appropriate for me to name any particular stock. Thank you.
Right, we get that point completely. But Mr. Chawla, directionally speaking, will the entire 80,000 crore target be achieved via selling stake in listed PSUs?
Yes, absolutely. Team DIPAM has worked very hard, and the hard work is now showing results. We are confident of achieving our targets for this year.
Okay, let's also talk about your dividend target, because dividend has been a major source for the government over the last few years. What will the target be for FY27, especially from cash-rich PSUs, which have the ability to pay higher dividend?
Good question. The dividend target for this year, current financial year, is 75,000 crores. And as you know, dividends come mostly in the second half. In the first half, we get the residuals and a few special dividends. So about 5,000 crore has flowed in through that route so far. But you will see that we will achieve our target when we have a plan ready for that.
Okay, and what will the total asset monetization target be for the full year?
There is no separate target for asset monetization or disinvestment. They're all different kinds of monetizations. DIPAM does monetization through what is called the capital markets. So when we say asset monetization, DIPAM means capital market instruments, and particularly the InvITs kind of instruments. You would remember that we did the first public InvIT in March this year, and we will be targeting another one, maybe in 2-3 months down the line. So when we say that the target that you see is essentially a target for all kinds of monetizations, whether it is stock sales or whether it is capitalized instruments being monetized on the markets.
Okay, and currently Hindustan Copper OFS is underway, but before that we also had a big LIC OFS just in the previous month. Will the government look to sell further stake in the company via OFS, that's LIC?
I think we've had a very big market offer, and the LIC market offer was the largest market offer ever in our capital markets. And 31,005 crore is not a small number. The total demand that we received was 36,000 crores, and about 1 crore investors, both directly and indirectly, have benefited from this. And if you have been following up the LIC performance and the LIC stock, ever since the OFS, within a short span of 2 to 3 weeks, the investors who repose their faith in us have already gained 10%, and we are happy about it. And LIC, as you know, is now likely to become part of the domestic and global indices, and that will change its performance and its strategy, and that will help the shareholders and the investors.
So that's as far as the LIC stake sale is concerned, and clearly the stock has run up quite a bit after the OFS that was done last month rather. But Mr. Chawla, the government has laid a disinvestment target over the last few years, but has been unsuccessful in achieving those targets. But this time around, the tide seems to be turning, and we are on track to achieve that. What really has changed? Do you think the market has become more conducive to be able to absorb this kind of offer for sale?
You should give part of that credit to us as well. Team Deepam now has its own market research unit, its own operation room. Last year, we achieved more than 90%, almost 95 to 96% of our target, which was a very good achievement. And this year, the pace is so good that we are hopeful of now achieving it 100% this year.
Okay, and what has been the revenue collection so far through OFS? Is 55,000 crore is only from the listed PSUs, but what is the total figure?
I think the total figure is now around 65,000 crores.
Okay. Okay.
And that is, we have still not ended with August, and Hindustan Copper will get added to it. So you will see that the first half itself will show fantastic results this year.
Mr. Chawla, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now.
Thank you very much.